I get paid and my money already has somewhere to be. My bills are standing there with their hands out like, can I get some? I'm working, but clearly my bank account didn't get the memo. Let's talk about this paycheck to paycheck struggle. Check this out.
I'm so sick of my paycheck being gone before it even hits my bank account. I took out money for rent. I literally got paid $700. I'm only left with $24 to myself, and I have to wait a week until I get paid again. So I'm broke for this week because I only have $24. I just have $24 left.
Question: how did you break the paycheck to paycheck cycle? I'm feeling really frustrated with my life right now, and I'm just looking for some answers and some hope.
See, my problem is every time I get paid, I be wanting to buy everything in one day. But then I realize you can't do that because all your money gonna be gone in one day. I always knew at a young age, I knew I had to have some money. I said, I know we can't take it with because when we die, and I said, I'm enjoy it while I'm on this earth.
My top 3 worst fears now as an adult are 1, getting sick and having to call off of work, 2, getting pregnant, and 3, getting into an accident and having to call off of work.
I am so sick of getting on this damn app. Buy this, but I don't want to buy shit. Okay? I'm trying to stay at a credit card debt. I got a mortgage, honey. I'm sick of it. I don't want to hear it.
Well, bird. So it's almost midnight. It's like 22. We just got to church and fellowship, and it's been great. Okay, but I'm exhausted. And I cannot wait to climb into my bed, into my fresh, clean sheets that I'm realizing I never took out of the dryer and put on my bed. There's literally nothing worse than being exhausted and realizing you have to put sheets on your bed.
And as soon as my check hits, I pay all my bills so I can live with my $67 in peace. Leave me alone till next motherfucking month, and I'm not playing. To make myself feel better, though, I always just think about my coworkers that have the same exact dollar amount of check that have kids. Bitch, I barely can afford seafood boils and bundles. Diapers?
So I make $80,000 a year, right? Guess what I gotta go do? Get another fucking job. Man, bro. Like I don't know. I don't know how we living right now. I really don't. I make $28 an hour. Now I'm about to go get another job at Amazon making $19.50. You know what I'm saying? Right when I get off my other job. Yeah. It's hell out here, bro.
Have y'all ever heard the saying, living paycheck to paycheck? Well, if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me put it in perspective for you. I had $1.83 in my bank. I just swiped credit at the gas pump so I could get $10 for gas because I was on E, my friend. And hopefully in 2 business days, I get that $10 back in my account because my bank does not play, man. They charged me $40 in overdraft fees because I was overdrafted 7 pennies. I ain't even playing it. Banks do not mess around with their money, even if it's 7 pennies. So, all that to say, please hit all these buttons so I can get TikTok paid and get my $10. Love you, bye.
Babe, guess how much money I made just in the last 2 days off of TikTok?
$20.
More.
$80.
Higher. Like higher.
$300.
Higher.
$500.
Higher.
$800.
Higher.
$1,000.
Yeah, a little over that.
That's awesome.
I know. I can't believe it.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Is that from TikTok or book?
That's just from TikTok.
Wow.
That's just people watching my videos and like interacting and like reposting and stuff.
That's awesome.
From 3 days, over $1,000. I just can't believe. I don't want to be rich, but I want to be financially stable enough where I don't have to worry about how I'm going to live for those 3 to 4 days before my next paycheck. because those 3 to 4 days kill me every time. They kill me every time. I'd be walking around with 25 cents in my bank account if I'm lucky until Friday. And it's just crazy because in the past 10 years, I've gone from making $725 to making $75,000 a year, and I am still stuck in a paycheck to paycheck cycle. And I work my ass off. I have like 4 side hustles, and I'm just constantly wondering when this paycheck to paycheck, spending 2 weeks a month with no money to my name, is gonna go away. I don't want to be rich. I just want to be financially secure enough to where I don't have to worry.
So being a person that spent several years of his life living paycheck to paycheck, I've never understood the frustration with it. Like, I've never understood why everybody seems like they're so frustrated with living paycheck to paycheck. You have enough money for this paycheck to get you to next paycheck. You like, yes, you may be living paycheck to paycheck, but at least there's a dang paycheck. Hey, look here, there was several years Navy Fed overdraft. It saved my life. Little overdraft. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get that. Just go ahead and give me that. I never stressed about the paycheck to paycheck because I knew I was gonna have a job. Like, listen, even if you fired me, I'm gonna go find something else while I was paycheck to paycheck. Don't matter. So like, I have never understood like, oh, I feel so bad. Man, I'm paying my bills. I put money back into my 401k and I'm broke till next week. Okay. That just means I am living literally the American dream. Like, I don't know what any other dream you think you're supposed to be living at this point.
So I earn over £100,000 a year with a total combined household income of 140. Yet I'm still too poor to shop in places like Waitrose and Marks and Spencer's. I still find myself scrapping around for pennies at the end of the month and living paycheck to paycheck as a household. I find myself constantly swapping energy suppliers to find the cheapest one. Not being able to afford to go on holidays where the hotels are 5-star, you're looking at the kind of 3-star accommodation. Having that much money doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to live a financially free and financially stable life. I mean, sure, we own our own house and we don't live in a council house, which is a blessing. However, earning that much money is just offsetting money to the poor. You pay more in tax that goes to the welfare schemes when those people themselves could probably get better jobs. If I wasn't taxed as much as I'm taxed, possibly we could afford to live a better lifestyle, eat healthier foods like organic meats, etc. We can't do that. And that's what's wrong with this society.
It's currently June 14th, and I don't get paid until June 25th. I have $691 in my bank account and over $1,000 of bills due coming soon. Not to mention, when I get paid June 25th, I will have rent due, but I will already be negative. I know I'm not the only one that goes through stuff like this all the time, but let's go ahead and calculate what I could pay off this upcoming week while still having money for food. I think what I can do with $691 is pay a phone bill for it's $80. So we're gonna subtract 80. I have a speedy cash loan, you know, those cash advance loans that we take out, due this following Monday. It's $300. If I do that, that leaves me with a total of $311. So as of right now, I think that's all I'm gonna worry about paying right now. Wait. I'm gonna send $100 to my credit cards. So actually, I will have $211, and I think that's enough for food for next week, and then I'll survive and figure out the rest later.
Can physicians stop complaining that their salary is not enough to pay back their student loan debts? That's insane to me. I'm a physician. I grew up in and out of foster care, on food stamps, all these things. Literally, sometimes we didn't necessarily know where our next meal was coming from. We got our electric cut off right My mother, if she worked, was a waitress at Waffle House and would make $10,000 a year, 15 on a good year. So when I hear comments, and I've heard it from dual physician families that say, man, we're living paycheck to paycheck. That is not an income problem. That is a spending problem. It wouldn't matter if you made $1 million a year, which this couple did, or if you made $50,000 a year, you would probably be the kind of person that would be living paycheck to paycheck. So it's not an income problem. It's a spending problem, and it really demonstrates how out of touch with reality and the rest of the population you are when you complain, "Oh, I can't pay back my $350,000 in student loans on this $400,000 salary or even this $200,000 salary." Yeah, you can. You absolutely can.
I make $150,000 a year as a single income earner. I live paycheck to paycheck. I have no retirement. I have no savings. And it sucks. And I work 24/7.
Farm Girl Nerd here has a great quote, though. She says, "You must gain control over your money, or the lack of it will forever control you." And I am living proof of this statement. I'm in massive debt. And it was not overnight. It happened over an 11-year span. When I tell you that I live paycheck to paycheck, it is not an exaggeration. This is why budgeting is so important. I was in an abusive relationship for many years and I was controlled. Budgeting feels very controlling to me, when in reality, all it is telling you where to put your dollars. It's interesting because as I'm going through this journey of getting out of debt, the more and more I realize that I am human and I have made mistakes, but I am taking control of those actions. And one day I will control my money. Right now, I don't. Every single penny goes to minimum payments, and it sucks. And that doesn't even include rent and mortgage. I have the day off work today, and I'm outside hustling to pay for life. Budget, people, and actually apply the budget.
I'm having a rough morning. So I'm only making this video because I don't want any other single parent, one income families to do what I did. Around Christmas time, to be able to afford presents, my apartment complex, you pay your rent through an app. Really not that serious. I think it's because I'm getting ready to start my period. That's why I'm so emotional. Allow you to do the Livable app where you can like make payments. What it does is it takes the whole rent out at the beginning of the month and then you pay the 3 payments back. Or 2 payments, however you set it up. Once I started it and did it the one time, I could never get out of the cycle of using it. I couldn't get out of the cycle of paying it because I didn't have enough each paycheck, if that makes sense. I don't get my paycheck on Fridays until like 11 at night. So I make my payment at 11. Well, it doesn't process until the next Monday. So this rent paycheck, I haven't even paid rent yet. It's the 6th. So now I'm getting the $50 late fees. So I messaged the Livable app because it's not letting me pay my May rent. And so I messaged them yesterday and I'm like, look, it says it's still processing, but it's came out of my bank account. Like, how do I make the payment today so that I don't get the late fees? And she's like, oh, well, the window will be open until the 8th. You'll be good. So I go to pay it today. Well, because there's a late fee, it won't let me use the Livable app. I don't even have enough from my paycheck to pay my rent. $100 short on rent, which my mom has sent me Venmo, but I also use SoFi banking, which I love SoFi, but I can't transfer my money from Venmo to my SoFi. So I processed my rent payment, which I know is going to get denied because I highly doubt they're going to let me overdraft $100. I literally have no money for the next 2 weeks. I'm just so mad at myself for putting myself in this position. Like, I knew the day was going to come where I was going to have to just pay rent out of one paycheck so that way I could get out of the whole being stuck in this cycle of paying that Livable thing. Don't do the buy here, pay your apps. That's pretty much all I wanted to say. Okay, love you, bye.
People have been living paycheck to paycheck for a while now, but the fact that evictions are becoming more common, it's just that bad because you have people saying they only pay $1,000, $1,100 to $1,200 in rent and they're being evicted. Let's just shoot it straight, right? The pay doesn't match the economy that we're living in. It gets to a point where you could take all the budgeting classes, hear about all the financial advice, but you just can't do something with nothing. God can carry you through. Don't get me wrong. Pray about it, sleep on it. He's going to always show up for you when you need him. But you just cannot budget your way out of poverty. You can't manage finances that you don't even have. People are real deal struggling, and so it leaves them with the option of relying on family members. And here's the thing with that. They go live with family members, and then people who are also struggling or who are barely above water trying to live their life, they sometimes get upset because they also don't want the burden of having grown adults with sometimes even children, multiple kids, coming to live with them, and they're not able to pay anything in rent. They're not able to help out on the bills because they don't make enough money. People are having to rely on villages that they don't have. Let's just be completely honest. That's why it's so hard for a lot of people. People with multiple degrees, certifications, a bunch of education just want any type of job just to stay afloat. They're no longer even concerned with fighting their way to the top to climb the corporate ladder to have the best job possible that matches the degree that they went to get. They just want a single job.
There is literally no worse feeling than getting paid, paying your bills, and not having anything left over. Which then leaves you no other choice but to use credit cards, which causes more debt and more financial stress. Or makes your accounts go negative, which means the next time you get paid, you're even further behind. It's literally ridiculous. That was literally me and my husband 7 months ago. And I was so sick and tired of being sick and tired. I was so tired of literally feeling like I was drowning and just worrying about our finances. I was over it. I wanted to be a yes parent. I wanted to go on vacations with our kids. I wanted to give our kids the life that we knew that they deserved. So I started digital affiliate marketing. I am now making almost 5 figures every single week. I started 7 months ago, and my goal was to make $500 a month because I just wanted to pay for our groceries. And not only has it helped close the gap between paycheck to paycheck, pay for groceries, we will be almost 100% debt free because I started digital affiliate marketing. It has been the biggest blessing and so freaking life saving. I could literally talk myself to death about how life changing it's been for us. Literally still mind blown. 7 months in, and I'm still completely mind blown at the money that I'm making with digital affiliate marketing. And it's literally not just me. Digital affiliate marketing is going to grow by 300% in the next year. So if that's not your sign to start, if this isn't your sign to start, I don't know what is.
Hi all, my name's Isabel. This is my journey for debt payoff. This is my second video. I was supposed to post yesterday, cause I did pay off, 2 card. Well, I paid off 1 card and then put the rest of the money towards another card. I got paid for a photography job that I do on the side. However, I wasn't able to make that because, unexpectedly, my dad did pass away yesterday, and I'm still trying to, process this. So we'll be putting a halt on my debt payoff journey. I'm trying my best to hold it together, but, right now financials are just really tough, which is especially why I've been trying to do this, and I wanted to try to make some money off of, brand deals or whatever that everybody else, gets and sometimes gets if, their account's successful. But, I don't know. We might have to put a pause on this. It's just a lot. So, I'll show up here. I did make a payment or 2 payments, and you can see that, but I did have to charge a couple of things back on there, like on the Apple Card. But yeah, so I'll be back on, probably not for a little bit, but once I get, a little bit more, I can still vlog my journey through though. Thank you. Bye.
This housing crisis is a real thing. I walk every morning in my complex, and every week almost I see people have been evicted. And where it used to be that there were places that provided resources for families going through financial hardships, a lot of these people have been depleted of their funds because that's just how many people are in need right now. So you can't even get help like you used to, when you can't afford to pay your rent because of whatever factors. because everybody's situation is not the same. But the main problem is people are not being paid enough to live a sustainable life. Like you have to have a two-person income to sustain a livable situation where you're not struggling, where you're not, paying robbing Peter to pay Paul. It's so sad. There is just no way in 2026 the minimum wage should be $7.25. Don't know which jobs are paying that, but the fact that there are jobs that pay that, it's ridiculous. And for some people that's their only option. And even $20 in 2026 is not sufficient to live a sustainable lifestyle. And this is not even my regular content, but I was on my walk this morning and saw two other people that have, their stuff was out on the curb. And a lot of us are not far removed from that. We're not mad enough. We're not mad enough.
I just cannot believe the state of our world right now. I can't believe that we are struggling to buy groceries. I cannot believe that we are all living paycheck to paycheck and we're all one paycheck away from being homeless, evicted on the street. I can't believe that. Look at my fridge. And I know there's people with way worse right now. Like, I feel so bad. And I'm just grateful that we have something. I'm grateful that we have a roof over our head, etc. This world, I don't understand what this world has come to. I really don't. I feel really bad for people who don't have family or support because thank God, my family helps me out when they can. But everybody's struggling. I'm not even afraid to say it. I know people want to get on social media and go, oh, I have this, me. I'm all good. I'm not good. Can I live your life? Because I'm not good. I'm poor as shit. Can I have your money? You know what I mean? And also, the rich people who come on here spending $20,000 on Versace designer bags. Can I be a designer bag? Can I have one of them to sell it on the black market? What? I just don't understand. Can I be one of them designer bags? So here is my grocery list that I make about every 2 weeks. And like as I run out of things, I just add things to it. I'm gonna have to mark off half it. I'm not gonna be able to get half of this stuff on here because I can't afford it. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get anything, honestly. I'm gonna be able to get something, but I'm not gonna be able to get like half of the stuff on this list. Like even my I have hygiene stuff. I'm sorry, my cleaning supplies. I'm not gonna be able to get that. I'm going to have to count change to get toilet paper. I really need to wash me and my son's clothes, but because we have them piled up, but I have to get groceries and I have to pay our bills. Like it's just like it piles up. I'm sorry for complaining. Thank you, God, for all you've done for me. Thank you, God, for a roof over my head. And I don't know, fucking eat the rich, whatever. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but I just don't understand why we're all struggling with this.
I don't know if this is going to make sense, but as a PA, I refuse to believe that I don't make enough money to live comfortably in this economy. But also, I don't really know if I can afford to work or afford not to work. Can I explain something to you for a second? Like, okay, so we are about to move to North Carolina. I'm about to have our second baby. So I am obviously going to have to leave my job and take some sort of maternity leave. But it's just a matter of if I'm going to find another job after because we have one kid in daycare right now. We spend about $420 a week on childcare. I feel like already we're living paycheck to paycheck. So really my only option is, okay, I can get a job and work full time. Like right now I work 3.5 days a week, but I still make six figures. Like I really did think making six figures, like I wouldn't be struggling. I wouldn't be doing like paycheck to paycheck situation, like constantly trying to figure out how to minimize our spending, which like I've always been into, but like I really just felt like I would be way more comfortable than I am right now. Like the only way for me to work and have my kids in daycare, because they have to be in daycare full time per like all these daycares that we've
looked into would be if I was working full time. That's the only way I could afford that. Or do I stay home? But also, like, I love working, and like, who's gonna watch the kids? You know, who's gonna? But also, like, I don't want to take my kid, my older one, out of school because she like loves it so much, and she's so, I feel like, advanced. Like, she's really just doing so well. And my husband makes an income. He's a surgical resident, so he doesn't make that much. He makes 5 figures, but and like, I know it will be different several years down the line, just like a combination of his income plus, you know, like the kids being in like maybe public school. There's no way we could afford, like, I could alone afford our mortgage, which is $1,400 a month, gas, groceries, 2 kids in daycare, just for me to obviously like work. Like, like my income would never cover that. Max our HSA and Roth, and we do have personal retirement, but we also have like school loans, and like we don't even pay on my husband's loans yet because we don't have to till next year. But those are gonna literally be like $3,000 a month. And right now we pay like $1,300 a month probably for my school loans, but it's at 1.6%. So like there's really no motivation to pay them off more. When I graduated, I worked for a couple of years and like grinded and like paid a huge amount off and then just refinanced. I came out of school with like $200,000+ of debt. Don't recommend. So anyways, I just 5-10 years ago, I never thought like being like a dual income family, 2 kids, that I would be struggling so much paycheck to paycheck. And we are not frivolous spenders. I literally talk on my account all the time about like ways to save money, ways that we're budgeting. Like, we don't spend a lot in groceries. Even my husband has like a stipend for food at work. I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Does anyone else feel like that? Like, is 6 figures the new 60K? And that's really just that's not enough in this economy.
Today is August 13th, 2026. I currently have $32 in my bank account and almost $20,000 in credit card debt. And that is really hard for me to share. It makes me very anxious, overwhelmed. It makes me feel like I am very financially irresponsible, a hot fucking mess, to be honest. But I'm making this video because I know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and I can feel like I'm just so close to financial freedom. And I want to remember what it's like to be so fucking down bad. Not because I think it's a good feeling, but it's been a really rough year financially for me. It's been a really rough last 5 years financially for me, and I'm sure most people, honestly. And it's hard to keep pushing when you just feel like you're in the trenches, but I know that it is not permanent, it is temporary, and I know that when I'm on the other side, I am going to just cherish it and appreciate it so much more because I have been struggling. And I don't even know how I'm gonna pay my rent next month. But I'm not making this video for sympathy or empathy or for people to call me financially irresponsible, because yes, I probably am, but I've been going through it and I'm just trying my best. And the economy is shit right now. And I'm still chasing my dreams, pursuing my dreams. So that's why I made this account, because I want to be able to become financially free, you know, not have to worry about my rent, not have to worry about going to the grocery store and having to put something back because I can't afford it, not having to worry about choosing working a shift over picking up an acting gig. So anyways, I don't really know what else to say, but I believe that before the end of this year, I will be able to pay off all my debt and be financially free. And this video is perhaps a message to my future self. You did it. You fucking did it.
It was fucking rough, but you fucking stuck it out. And you should be very proud. Enjoy the wins. And remember what it feels like to be in the suck. Because it does suck. Anyways, that's all.
I love watching paycheck breakdowns. So, I got paid on Friday. Let me tell you guys how much money I made. And please, not too much. I get paid every 2 weeks. I know it's not a lot, okay? Yeah, on this upcoming period, I only worked, it's like about like 38 hours a week. I got paid $1,144.85. Y'all, that's every 2 weeks, y'all. Fuck. First, I gotta pay my car note is $973.84. That's leaving me with 171 with 1 cent. Now, y'all, I have a Jeep, and Jeeps be giving people problems and stuff, right? So my car warranty a month is 154 and 4 cents. So I have to pay that. So that leaves me with $16.97. Y'all, damn, fuck. I can't even buy me a plate of ribs, macaroni. Okay, y'all, I told you guys I've been doing DoorDash to make it ends meet, right? So on my DoorDash card, I went hard this week. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I made $599.62, right? So boom, I gotta pay for my wisdom tooth, right? I got my wisdom tooth removed, right? And it was $5,000. It was 4 wisdom tooth, $5,000, right? The insurance only covered $3,000, so I had to pay $2,000 out of pocket. So I paid $62 a month. It's been like a year. I'm almost done, like a little bit, just a little bit. So that leaves me with 570 no, $537.62. Y'all, now it's gas, and I have to put money away for gas every 2 weeks. So basically, it's 130. Every week is $65 in gas. That's a lot, but goddamn, I should have got me a Toyota. Ugh. And next is my credit card, y'all. My balance is literally $900. Like, I maxed that shit out. So I just pay the minimum of $40 so I can't like afford to pay the rest. So that leaves me with $407.62. That's kind of crazy, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. And I gotta pay my afterpay. And y'all, afterpay, y'all, I made a mistake. I started buying shit on afterpay. But this pay period is I only have to pay $13.37 on Afterpay. It was on Fashion Nova, and I only bought like one thing. But then, y'all, Affirm, y'all. I literally pay $52 a month plus, y'all. Y'all, after I pay my credit card, whatever, right? That leaves the balance to $367.62, right? Boom. Okay, cool. Now I gotta pay Afterpay. I bought something on Fashion Nova. I only bought one thing, and that leaves me with $354.25. Then I have Affirm, which is I pay $56.03. So that leaves me with $298 with 22 cents. Now, y'all, I fucked up, y'all. I have a debt with Affirm. I owe like probably 1,300, something like that. My first payment was on Amazon. It's $131.75. That leaves me with $166.47. Now I got an other payment for Affirm is $131.54. That leaves me for 2 weeks with $34.73 for 2 weeks, y'all. Let me get the fuck off here and go on DoorDash, okay? I need to make money.
I'm just gonna hop on here. No fancy mic, no great lighting, not me trying to look perfect. I'm done doing all of that. And I just want to let you guys know, yes, my last video that I posted, I am fully nomadic. This is the first time I've ever done this. I decided back in October 2025. I was just like, forget it. I don't want to be paying rent anymore. I don't want to be living like with family and or with friends and just like paying them rent, which is fine, right? So I was doing paying the rent and paying my bills, but it still just seemed like I still seemed or felt stuck. To me, I didn't feel independent enough. I just felt like I was always depending on my family and friends to get me out of like sticky situations and or to provide me with a place to stay, which could be obviously beneficial because I was paying rent. And so I have a job where I work in tech support and it's fully remote, so I can work anywhere in the US. I realize I am super blessed to have that, and I'm going to stick with that job because I know what it feels like to be unemployed. I was unemployed for over a year. So back in October 2025, I was talking to my therapist and my sister, and she's like, well, what do you want to do? Because you're doing everything else that everyone else wants to do. What do you truly want to do? And that's the same for my therapist. And I said, I just want to be free. I don't want to get a luxury apartment. Like I wanted to do that back in 2023 and had like all enough money saved to do that. And I was like, I don't want a luxury apartment. I just want I've never I want to be able to, for one, live abroad for like 3 to 6 months and experience what that feels like. I never got to do that, not in college, not ever, when I feel like I had the chances to do that. And I was like, I've all the times that I did have a remote job, I never did anything. I never like I would work at a coffee shop and like that's about it. I would never do anything with it. And now that I'm like 35, it just made sense. It like all clicked. I was like, I just want to sell all of my stuff and just like be independent and be free and like take advantage. And so, and then my sister was like, then do that. Sell your stuff. Why aren't you doing that? And I didn't have a good enough answer. I was like, I don't know. I'm scared. Like, I didn't know what's going to happen. Like, how am I going to figure out? And it's my therapist was even like, you figured it out. You are figuring your life out. You're doing all of the things. So what is the difference between you sitting in, and at the time I was living in Arizona, what is the difference between you sitting in Arizona and paying rent and you selling your stuff and going and living your life while still working a job, while still paying your bills? What is the difference? You don't have a mortgage, you don't have kids, you don't have pets. I don't even have a plant to my name. I don't even have a car to my name. Like nothing. All I have is my debt and my little bills. She's like, so what is the difference? What could possibly happen? And so, yeah, I ended up selling all of my stuff in December, and then January I booked my first one-way flight over to, and I know everyone's gonna be like, well, that's not that great, to Washington to see my best friend. I have my safety points. Also, I'm obviously learning to balance my job. I already proved that I could work my job and bounce around if I just travel on the weekends. I got rid of a lot of subscriptions. I was like, sold a bunch of my clothes. I went and got like, my hair done and all the things like I'm going to keep up with getting my teeth cleaned and, getting my toes done, like my little girly things. But there was a lot of things that I had to like get rid of and do without. Wants, needs, this and that. And I'm still figuring it out. So everything's in a suitcase. If you want to see it, I'll show you what my suitcase looks like. I have my backpack, so I put like my toiletries and my work and personal bag in a backpack. I pretty much put everything in a box. And when I say everything, like my important documents that you need to obviously that you can't just get rid of, I put it in a box, and I have family that is holding on to that for me. So my whole life is just pretty much in a box. But I've been moving around since like 2022. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. And listen, I don't have thousands and thousands and millions and billions of dollars. That's not what this is. I know what it feels like to have $0, and I know what it feels like to have a lot of money saved. And at this point in the economy that we're in and the way that things are going, I was just like, let me see if I can rebuild my credit, save some money. Let me see if I can save any money with my one stream of income and see what I can do with that. Cause at this point, I've seen both sides, and I just got to start living my life and just like figuring it out as I go. And again, I don't know what I'm doing, but I need to start experiencing life. We only have one life to live, and at the end of this, we all end up dying. So like, what am I doing? I need to be cringe. I need to be, learning and making my mistakes, not dumb ones, but yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but you're probably wondering, well, how are you affording? I'm doing this thing called trusted house sitters. So I stay in these people's homes for about a month and I watch their dogs and their home, which is what's helping me afford the accommodations because accommodations are expensive. And then I just book flights to where I need to be. And then, like I said, I have safety points, which is i.e. my friends and my family. So yeah, I'm super excited. I will try to post more about it, but this is what I'm doing, and I am not anybody special. Nope, I don't have thousands of dollars. And I'm just experiencing my life finally how I want to instead of through what everyone else is doing. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm gonna post this. It is what it is. If you have questions, let me know. Yeah, I got some dogs I gotta go walk and then get settled in. And we'll see how long I can do this. Hopefully I can do this for a year. Love to do this for the rest of my life, to be honest. This is the most free that I've ever felt. But yeah. So I thought I'd hop on here and say that. Okay. All right. Bye.
Hi, so I would never think in a million years that I would be 50 years old and still living paycheck to paycheck. I still have a daughter at home who I'm taking care of. I was working 2 jobs and the cost of living is rising, right? And I make $2,400 a month with a bachelor's degree. My income is not rising, and so that's that. But with that being said, don't even get me started on my debt. My student loan debt is $65,000. I'm not even able to pay that, and with interest, it rises and goes up and down. Just the other day, I got a notice stating it went up, I think, from interest. Not to mention my credit card debt. That's $20,000 in debt. Little stressful. So I was thinking, oh my goodness, I need to do something, right? So I was like, all right, go on TikTok, go on the internet. And I have a daughter at home who's in high school and she's going to be going to, you know, get a job next year herself. And she's my last one at home and I need to be there for her during after school and whatnot. So I was like, I need to work from home and be there for her. And so I was like, okay, I need to find something. I was scrolling the internet and I saw something where I saw all these other people and other moms making money online. And I saw this course and I was like, what is this? And I'm not tech savvy. And I was like, well, I'm thinking, okay, what am I going to do? And I saw it, but I was like, I found this course where they had these co-creators where they described everything and the co-creators were actually explaining everything step by step in the program where it was very user friendly. They had daily mentorship calls where you could ask any question you wanted. They had no judgment. They were very friendly. People from all walks of life, men and women, which was so nice to see, and so much support, which didn't make me feel so judged, and to say the least, being my age and being a mom myself. And so I was like, okay, I can do this. Give me a little bit of boost of confidence, right? And then not to mention when I asked questions, they asked them right away. They didn't just ghost me. And I saw that the co-creators were there all the time on Zoom calls. They asked any questions you had. They helped you take a quiz to kind of guide you what type of income stream you wanted to take based on your personality, which is amazing because every person's different and unique. And not only that, they had day 1 through 7 where they just kind of hold your hand and help you, guide you, support you based on what based on your quiz, they help you with what modules you take, and they tell you exactly how to do it, what to do, based on the quiz. And so that's so helpful, and kind of gives you more confidence and doesn't make you feel so scared, because I was like, okay, I can do this, keep going. You do need to be consistent. And I was like, okay. And I also found out that when I was going to join, I was like, I had lots of questions, of course, and they answered them for me. And I also was like looking for proof, and I found proof. I also saw a woman on there where she was making $1,000 or $2,000 a day consistently, time and time again, with no hesitation, very easily. And she was just helping people through TikTok, and she's resharing the course. And there's other ways where other co-creators were doing it through Faceless, like on Pinterest. There was one girl that was making $80,000 in 5 months. There was also book flipping, where another gentleman made a $300 book flipping a book he bought for $1.49. He flipped it for $300. So there was so many different ways where you can make money, but I thought this was perfect. So if you're looking for something where you can stay at home with your kids and be there for your kids, where you can work from home and make sure you're there for them when they're doing their homework, or you need to be home for them so you can take them to and from school, or for like my daughter, where I can take her to and from a new job next year, or just be there for her, and make those memories, and make extra income to pay off my debt and be sufficient to where I can be there for her and put the extra food on the table for us to provide. That's what I'm looking for too. And make the extra money where I can pay the electric bill. So I was like, this is the way out. This is the light at the end of the tunnel I was looking for. I was felt so blessed and so relieved. So if you're like me and this is something that you're looking for, this is the opportunity, then I'd love to share this with you, and I'd love to maybe possibly, I could help you, and I can share with you a quiz. You can comment below over here and DM me, or drop a comment, and I can share you with a quiz, or I can get you the information right away and we can get started. Thank you. Have a good day.